Good morning, children. As we have finished with center of mass, there are certain doubts which I will clear in the coming classes. Students have asked about the numericals of work, power, energy. I will explain that in the coming classes or explain them through Google Classroom notes. So here is next chapter, that is rotational motion. You all know kinematics, that is linear motion, and this is rotational motion. Rotational motion of a rigid body. So what is a rigid body? You all know this. A rigid body does not change its shape and size on application of external force. That is, if any rigid body is pivoted at a point, is fixed at a point, then it will move on continuously at a fixed distance from that point. Say for example, this particle P is moving about this axis of rotation. This at this point, if it is pivoted, it is moving along this axis of rotation at a distance of r. So all the particles will continue to move along this fixed axis of rotation at a fixed distance in a rigid body. So rigid body is any body or surface which does not change its shape and size on the application of external force. The important part is axis of rotation. Every particle tends to move at a fixed distance from axis of rotation. So every particle is performing circular motion about that axis, but the whole body is performing rotational motion about a fixed axis of rotation. So this is also termed as kinematics. We will discuss here kinematics of rotational motion. Rotational motion. That is, here any rigid object when pivoted or fixed at a point will rotate about a fixed axis or fixed point. That fixed point is known as point of axis of rotation. Point of axis of rotation, and the imaginary line passing through point of axis of rotation is known as axis of rotation. So here we have to discuss about angular displacement, angular velocity. You all know this term. These two terms you all know. Angular acceleration, and then equation of motion in a rotational motion. So this all we have to study in kinematics of rotational motion, and then we will discuss mass in terms of moment of inertia in rotational motion. Why I am saying this? Because the role which mass plays in linear motion will be played by moment of inertia in rotational motion. So here you are going to get a new topic, that is moment of inertia. So first of all, let me define angular displacement. You all know this. Angular displacement is given by theta When a body rotates about an axis, it has to cover some angular change from the axis of rotation. Say a particle is P, moves to P dash, it covers some angular displacement. So this angular change, this I have told you in circular motion also, angular change in the position of particle performing rotational motion is termed as angular displacement. You know this formula, angle is given by arc length upon radius. But here radius means perpendicular distance or distance from axis of rotation. So theta is equals to, angular displacement is equals to S by R. So that means S is equals to R theta. Theta is angular displacement. So this is the relation. S is displacement, that is linear displacement. R is distance from axis of rotation. Theta is angular displacement. So linear motion is equals to R times rotational motion. So what is the dimension? Dimension of angular displacement is m0, l0, t0. This is dimension of angular displacement. Now unit, you can take it as radian or degree. This is about angular displacement. Then there is another term, angular velocity. What is angular velocity? It is defined as omega. It is defined as rate of change of angular displacement. Rate of change of angular displacement from the axis of rotation. So omega is given by rate of change of angular displacement. So this is the relation. This is the relation between angular velocity and angular displacement. Now you have already derived the relation. Theta is equals to S by R. Therefore omega is equals to d by dt S by R, which means 1 by R ds by dt, because R is fixed, and this ds by dt is known as V. So omega is equals to V by R, which implies that V is equals to R omega. This I have discussed in circular motion. So again here you can see linear motion is equals to R times angular or rotational motion. So this is the relation between linear motion as well as rotational motion or angular motion. For a complete rotation, d theta will be total circular motion, that is 360 degree, and dt will be equals to capital T, that is time period. So omega is equals to 2 pi by capital T. 1 upon time period you all know is frequency. So angular velocity is 2 pi f. Dimension of angular velocity, you can see here m0, l0, t minus 1. So this is the dimension of angular velocity. From here also you can see that frequency is having dimension t minus 1, so angular velocity is having dimension this, m0 l0 t minus 1. So what will be the unit? Unit will be radian per second. Unit of angular velocity is radian per second. So in rotational motion, you have done with angular displacement, angular velocity, this you already have read, and you can see in the brackets s is equals to r theta, v is equals to r omega. This gives relation between linear motion as well as with the angular motion. Now next is angular acceleration. Angular acceleration is given by alpha. It is defined as rate of change of angular velocity. Rate of change of angular velocity, that is alpha is equals to d omega by dt. Alpha is equals to d omega by dt, that is rate of change of angular velocity. If as v is equals to r omega, implies that omega is equals to v by r. So what we are going to get is alpha is equals to 1 by r dv by dt. That is dv by dt is acceleration upon r, which implies that a is equals to r alpha. Again from here also you can see this acceleration is linear acceleration, this alpha is angular acceleration. So this gives a relation between linear acceleration and angular acceleration. So what is the dimension of angular acceleration? Dimension of angular acceleration will be m0 l0 t minus 2, and the unit will be radian per second square. Unit will be radian per second square. This is angular acceleration. So as of now you have read s is equals to r theta, v is equals to r omega, a is equals to r alpha. That means linear motion and angular motion are related with a physical quantity r. R is the fixed distance from axis of rotation. This distance remains fixed only for rigid body. Otherwise, if it is not a rigid body, it will keep on changing. So this is linear motion and angular motion, and the relation is s is equals to r theta, v is equals to r omega, a is equals to r alpha. Now we will derive equation of motion as applied in rotational motion. You will find that it is similar to equations of motion as you have done in linear motion or motion in one dimension, or you have read in motion in one dimension. It is similar to that. I will derive it over here in the next video.